He has seized life's hands. He has mastered not his own. He has mastered his own heart. So we see that the feints of nature, the deceiving feints, the adversary feints of nature, mislead not his sight. And most of us listen to the adversary feints of nature. We are thrilled when we see this downpour in China that has not happened for a year. Our eyes are staring at this. We're staring at other problems, at killings, at muggings, and everything else. I always ask why. Why is the lower vital so interested in these things? And it's really a question that Mother has approached and spoken to us about, and Sri Aurobindo. So now we go back to Savitri. He has seized life's hands. He has mastered his own heart. The feints of nature mislead not his sight. See how beautifully that is phrased. In other words, in prose we would say, nature's feints don't mislead his sight. But when you put it into poetry, you begin with the word the feints, and that is the key word here, even though nature is capitalized. These feints of nature, these deceptive things of nature, don't mislead his sight. Mislead not his sight. And why? Well, let's see what else he says. Because his look towards the truth's far end is ineffable. Inflexible, rather. Inflexible. His look towards truth's far end. If something is inflexible, it's not permitting change or variation. It's immovable, in fact. And then Sri Aurobindo is going to go on now and says that fate's deaf resistance cannot break his will. So we see that this is very, very important. Did I talk to you about Utkata Karma?
Yes.
We've covered that already. Because this is fate. In the dreadful passages, the fatal...
Sorry, may I ask one follow-up question on Utkata Karma?
Yeah.
Did Mother say that she cannot remove it?
No. When someone has done that, his karma is fixed until his next life. And then he has to go through it even more difficultly. So someone who commits suicide in the next life, they will have to face suicide, but go through it even more challengingly. And the other thing is murder.
The Mother cannot remove it by law, or she...
Well, here's what Sri Aurobindo actually says. Our will and action can often annul or modify even the past karma. Our will, and he speaks of it all through Savitri. It is only certain strong effects called Utkata Karma that are non-modifiable. Can't modify them, can't change them. Person has to come back in the next life and review all that he has done and try to overleap that past. So it cannot happen in the same life. It has to be the next life.
Of human beings or also murder of animals?
What?
Is it the murder of human beings or also of animals?
No, it has to be a very strong murder of a human being. would have to be very strong. The animals are not at that level of consciousness yet. Yeah, they will be. Everything moves towards this.
Yeah.
My
You know,
my two cats and that one cat I know is going to be born as a human the next year. She was so totally conscious, absolutely conscious of everything, and so calm in every situation, so
I
peaceful,
think my
and with
dog too.
and with deep love, such a deep love. You don't expect that so much from cats, but it's there.
So, when this happened with my dog, I told my parents that I think we should try vitamin C IV therapy for him, and I really believe that it will help. And it was Dr. Varsha says she's on the group, on the Q group, and that's how I got connected to her. She says that it was one of those rare moments occasions rather, where everybody involved was so open and receptive to doing this. And we've been doing it for many weeks now, and it's cured his tumors there, and not just the tumors, but with old age, he was drooling a lot more. That has completely gone. His gum and teeth health have improved. My mother says that his eyes have become brighter, and just overall he's looking very good now, touch wood. And I kept praying to mother to help us to a solution. And one night I was laying in bed, and I just remembered Dr. Varsha, and I said this has to be it. And I messaged my mother. My mother was receptive. His vet, who was administering the IV, was very interested in it, but didn't know how to do it. So she guided him, and she provided the correct vitamin C, and everything just fell into place. And she said that I have a very strong feeling that he is a high consciousness dog, and he's very. And I've observed that when I'm laying next to him and I invoke mother's presence, he gets up from, and he feels something that comes suddenly. And I've noticed that a few times where I've invoked her presence, or I've prayed to her for him, and he's lying and he's sleeping, and he suddenly gets up like something is there in the room. So it was amazing to see that.
Something of the higher realms of consciousness. We see that we are truly in a different world. It's not our world of the earth,
No.
and that's a great revelation. I can remember in Cozumel standing before a 4-foot square of rock that was so designed perfectly with all kinds of mosses, small creatures, that I could look at it for an hour. Yeah. I'll never forget it. Such beauty there. And I remember Mary Helen had the longest breath. She could stay out longer than anyone. And she looks up, and there's this giant manta ray right above her head. And then when we were in Belize, we saw the turtles, and the guy almost caught a turtle for us and gave us a ride. But this is a wonderful world. I'm so glad you're doing it. Really.
Yes, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Right.
It's amazing how she gives the wealth, and the more you use it to grow and on what is important, the more it flows. Does it not?
The what?
The more you utilize wealth that she gives on things that are important, that matter, that help you grow, the more it flows.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, definitely.
I'm trying really hard to change my relationship with wealth.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story now that's, we'll do our Savitri next week, but I have just resigned from the Matrimondia Gardens.
You've resigned.
At my age, huh?
Yes.
They told me they would not cut these gigantic old 50 to 60-year-old neem trees. Because there's a law against cutting trees, in Oroville. Now they're cutting them down just like that. And this lady Divya, who's one of the executives, says we'll just push them over and say we tried to transplant them and they died. That kind of falsehood I will not accept. And Frederick wrote to me, he said, thank you for your courage and your clear words. Because this is not Mother's Oroville when you act like that. And it's very difficult here right now, very difficult.
So who is taking over the gardens now?
This lady Judith thinks she knows so much. But all the things Mother told me, they totally disregard. They don't care about what Mother has said. Not at all. Every suggestion I made based on Mother, they refused. So it's a difficult time for me too. But I will meet the president day after tomorrow and speak with her about this new garden, the Mother's Flower Garden, in which we want to put all the significances Mother named in one huge area. And I think I can be useful there, hopefully. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so, it's been quite a time here. And, the secretary is a tough lady and she is government, but she's trying to do also some good. And Joelle is working with her, and you may know these people. I mean,
Yes,
there's mixed feelings from everyone about everyone, I guess. But eventually one has to hold to the truth that one has within his being or her being. There's no other way. No other way. Compromise is a weakness. Collective harmony, Mother says, is the answer. And I'll leave you with this last line from Tara, whom I met last week. She said her father asked Mother, Mother, tell me what is truth? We hear so many definitions. Tell me what really is truth. And Mother said, where there is harmony, there is truth. Namaste.
Thank you.